I am cutting down on 5 subscriptions: Midjourney, Runway, Leonardo, Pika, and Clang, because I found one platform that does everything they do for $25 a month. And honestly, it's better. ImagineArt isn't just cheaper, it's smarter. Their model recently ranked number 3 in the world for photorealistic output and number 6 across all models. You get over 100 specialized apps, bulk operations, preview mode that saves you 90% on testing, and built-in team collaboration. No more tab hopping between platforms, no more workflow friction, everything in one place, and it actually works. Let me break down why this matters. Right now, if you're serious about AI content, you're paying at least $30 for Midjourney, $35 for Runway, maybe another $25 for editing tools, plus collaboration software. That's over $105 a month minimum. And you're still switching between platforms, re-uploading files, dealing with different credit systems. ImagineArt consolidates all of that for $25. Same capabilities, one workflow, massive savings. All right, let's actually use this thing. I'm logged into ImagineArt and the interface is clean. One field in the center. What do you want to create? Image or video toggle. All the tools, images, videos, workflows, apps, community, neatly arranged in the top menu. That's it. From the top menu, I start by selecting image so I can test the image generation. Model selection is a drop-down. I can switch between ImagineArt 1.5, Nano Banana Pro, VO, Sedence, Runway, and Hailuo for video. Pick your model and you're ready to generate. No separate logins, no separate billing, no jumping between platforms. Before I hit generate, I've got control over the output. I can choose different aspect ratios: square, portrait, landscape, depending on what I need. I'm selecting ImagineArt 1.5 as my model and setting it to portrait format. So let's start with a test. I want to generate a beauty product shot, something that could work for Instagram or a product page. Here's my prompt. A woman's hand with one arm vertically holding a transparent pink perfume, unvarnished fingernails, short, transparent and shiny, dark red background, light coming from behind, strong contrast, directional light. I hit generate. Render time about 30 seconds, cost 10 credits. And here's the result. This is interesting. The bottle transparency is believable. I can see light passing through the liquid inside. The hand's skin texture is sharp and natural, and the backlight creates a real gradient on the dark red background. The nails have actual surface variation, not that painted-on look you sometimes get with AI-generated images. The bottle cap has micro detail. The light fall off on the hand is natural. The refraction through the glass looks physically accurate. This could pass as a real product photograph. That's not something I can say about most AI-generated product shots. All right, now let's make it harder. Portraits are where AI models usually struggle. Skin texture, reflections, accessories, fabric detail. One wrong move and you get plastic-looking skin or jewelry that doesn't make physical sense. Here's my prompt. Close-up of a stylish woman wearing black sunglasses, silver hoop earrings, and a sleek black top against a neutral background. Vertical format, ImagineArt 1.5. Let's see what happens. Render time about 35 seconds, same 10 credits. And immediately, the skin texture is different from what I usually see. I can see pores, I can see subtle imperfections. The sunglasses have actual lens reflections that make sense with the light source. The silver hoop earrings, the light hits them correctly with proper metallic falloff. The black top has fabric weave detail. The neutral background is actually neutral. No added mood lighting or artificial atmosphere. Let me zoom in on the sunglasses. I can see environment details in the reflection. The earrings have actual metal behavior, highlights, shadows, and that slight imperfection where jewelry naturally sits. The skin doesn't have that AI smooth look. It looks like a real person. This is what sets ImagineArt apart. It's not trying to make everything look like a magazine cover with heavy editorial processing. It's rendering what I asked for and making it look like an actual photograph. Real texture, real light behavior, real materials. So here's what I'm saying. If you need something that looks real, like could be shot with a camera reel, ImagineArt 1.5 delivers, especially for product shots, portraits, or anything where photorealism matters. Fast render times, low cost per image, and quality that actually holds up when you zoom in. Now let's talk about the preview mode, because this is where the cost savings get real, and I'm gonna test it with video generation, which is where credits burn the fastest. I need to create a promotional video clip for a coffee brand. The problem is, I don't know exactly what I want yet. I know the vibe, minimalist, morning light, coffee cup on a wooden table, but the composition, the angle, the exact camera movement, I need to test. Without preview mode, here's what happens. I write a prompt, generate a full video, realize the angle is wrong, adjust, generate again at full cost. By the time I find what I want, I've burned through a massive chunk of my monthly credits. With preview mode, the workflow is completely different. Let me show you. I'm entering my video prompt. Smooth camera push-in on a white ceramic coffee cup on rustic wooden table, soft morning sunlight from window, steam rising from cup, shallow depth of field, cinematic feel. After I enter the prompt, a preview button appears. I click it. Instead of generating the full video right away, ImagineArt generates two still images, two different interpretations of my prompt. One has the camera angle slightly higher, the other is more at eye level. The lighting varies a bit between them. They're different enough that I can see which direction works better. I look at both. The first one, the angle is too steep. The cup looks flat. The second one, that's closer. The 45-degree angle gives the shot depth and the lighting feels warmer. I select the second image. Now I click Create. Only now does the platform commit to generating the full video based on the preview I chose. The cost? Standard video generation rate. But I didn't waste credits testing multiple full renders. I tested with previews, picked the winner, and only then paid for the final output. This is how you actually work as a creative. You iterate, you test, you refine. Preview mode makes that financially viable, especially for video where every generation costs significantly more than images. Alright, now we're getting into the part that actually sets ImagineArt apart from most AI platforms: apps. And no, I'm not talking about mobile apps. I'm talking about pre-built creative tools that do very specific things and do them fast. Here's what apps are. They're templated modules designed for specific use cases. You're not writing prompts from scratch. You're not choosing models manually. You're not tweaking lighting, composition, or guidance settings. The app already has all of that baked in. You just upload your image, click Generate, and it outputs a fully realized concept. Think of it like this. Instead of hiring a CGI studio to place your product in a surreal scene, you click a button and the AI does it. That's the idea. Let me show you the interface. I'm in the apps section now. The layout is a gallery of tools organized by category: Discover, Product, Ads, Image Editing, Editorial, UGC, and more. Each app is a self-contained mini tool with a single purpose. For example, Product Between Buildings takes your product and places it as a giant object between city buildings. Inflatable Product creates an inflatable version of your product in a public square like Times Square. Podcast generates a realistic podcast studio scene. Adrenaline Rush, Lego reveal, pre-styled advertising concepts ready to go. These aren't just filters. Each app has a prompt already written inside it that you never see. It has a specific AI model pre-selected. It has composition, lighting, and style settings already dialed in. You don't touch any of that. You just provide the input image, and the app applies the entire creative logic automatically. Let me test one. I'm clicking on Product Between Buildings. The interface is simple. Upload image window, aspect ratio selector, output type toggle for image or video, and a generate button with the credit cost shown. I'm uploading a photo of a sneaker. Just a standard product shot, white background, clean angles. Now I'm selecting the aspect ratio. I'm going with vertical format because I want this for social media, and I'm leaving output type on image for now. I click Generate. No prompt, no model selection, no advanced settings, just one click. 40 seconds later, here's what I get. The sneaker is now a massive object placed between two modern skyscrapers. The lighting matches the scene, shadows fall naturally, the scale is believable, the perspective is correct, the built-in windows reflect the sneaker, the ground level details like cars and street signs are in proportion. This looks like a CGI billboard campaign. I didn't write play sneaker between buildings with realistic shadows and urban environment and cinematic lighting. I didn't adjust anything. The app knew what to do because the entire workflow was pre-programmed. This is the core concept of apps. They take complex creative scenarios, the kind that would normally require long, detailed prompts and multiple iterations, and compress them into a single click action. You're not building the scene, you're just providing the object. The app handles the rest. And the real value here is consistency. If I need to generate 10 different product ads in the same style, I don't have to rewrite prompts or worry about the AI interpreting things differently each time. I just feed the app different products and it applies the same visual logic every time. This is how ImagineArt makes professional level creative output accessible without requiring you to be a prompt engineer or a CGI artist. Now here's where ImagineArt actually separates itself from the rest. Most AI platforms let you generate one image or one video at a time. You write a prompt, you get a result. If you need variations, you run it again. If you need different angles, different scenarios, different formats, you do it all manually. ImagineArt has workflows, and no, this isn't just batch generation. This is an actual automation builder for creative content. Think of it like this. Instead of asking the AI to do one thing, you build a pipeline. Step 1, analyze the product. Step 2, write 3 different ad scenarios. Step 3, generate visuals for each scenario. Step 4, turn those into video ads. All of that happens in one run. The interface looks like a node editor. You drag blocks onto a canvas, upload text, image, video, and connect them with lines. Each block does one task. When you hit run, the workflow processes everything in sequence and spits out a full set of assets. ImagineArt gives you pre-built templates, UGC generator, product photo shoot, consistent character, ad placement. You can open any of them, duplicate it, tweak the prompts, and run it with your own product images. Here's an example. I open the UGC generator template, I upload a product photo, let's say a skincare tube, the workflow analyzes the product, generates 3 different UGC script variations, and then creates short video ads based on those scripts. One upload, multiple deliverables, that's the point. This isn't a gimmick. This is how you scale content production without hiring a team. Now let's test video generation. In ImagineArt, I've got access to several video models right away. Sora 2, VO3, Hailuo, Seedance Pro. I'm starting with a simple 5-second clip. Prompt. A lone samurai in traditional attire stands in tall grasses looking toward a majestic mountain under a dramatic sunset sky. First, I'm running this through VO3. Processing takes about 90 seconds. The result? The samurai holds his pose, the grasses sway naturally in the wind, and the sunset sky has smooth, realistic gradient movement. The mountain in the background stays completely stable, no warping, no strange artifacts. The fabric on the samurai's clothing even shifts slightly, which makes the whole scene feel more real. Cost, 5 credits. Now the same prompt, but generated with Runway's model. Processing time is about the same. The result has a slightly different lighting interpretation. The sunset is warmer, with richer orange tones. The camera feels more cinematic, with cleaner depth layering between the samurai, the grasses, and the mountain. Also, 5 credits. And this is where ImagineArt really shows its strength. I can test both models without switching platforms, without paying for multiple subscriptions, and without juggling different credit balances across different tools. Here, everything lives in one place. One interface, one credit pool, any model you want, one click. Generate, compare, choose the best version. Let's talk about what this actually costs. ImagineArt starts at $25 a month. That's the entry tier. You get access to all the models, all the apps, preview mode, and basic team collaboration. I've been using this for 2 weeks. I generated about 300 images, 20 video clips, tested dozens of specialized apps, and ran multiple bulk operations. My credit usage? I would have spent $150 doing this across Midjourney, Runway, and Leonardo. With ImagineArt, I spent $40 total, and I'm still on the base plan. The credit efficiency compounds. Because ImagineArt 1.0 Pro uses 50% fewer credits per generation than Midjourney, you're getting twice the output for the same spend. And Preview mode cuts testing costs by 90%. Those two features alone justify the price difference. If you scale up to the ultimate tier, which is $30 a month, you get higher credit allocations and priority processing. I'm probably gonna upgrade because I'm hitting the credit limit on the base plan. But even at $30, I'm still saving $75 a month compared to my old setup. Look, I'm not gonna pretend I jumped on this immediately. When I first saw the pricing, my gut reaction was, okay, what's the catch? $25 for access to everything after paying $100+ for fragmented tools? It fed off. So I kept my Midjourney subscription active for 3 weeks while I tested this. I wasn't about to burn my whole setup on a hunch. And honestly, that's what you should do too. Run them in parallel, see which one you actually open more. The pricing thing made sense once I looked at the model. They're not trying to extract maximum dollars per user. They're building volume. More users, lower individual cost. It's why Costco works. And after 2 weeks of heavy use, nothing's broken, nothing's disappeared. The credits are exactly what they say they are. The other thing that surprised me, I requested a feature, bulk export with custom naming. It got added in about a week. I'm used to submitting feedback into a black hole with the big platforms. Here it actually moved. Maybe that changes as they scale, I don't know. But right now, it's small enough that your voice matters. Are there edge cases where Midjourney still wins? Probably. But for 90% of what I do, this handles it faster, cheaper, and without the friction of switching between tools. That's it. That's the honest take. Link in the description. If you're serious about AI content creation, this is the only subscription you need. Try it for a month, compare the output, compare the workflow, compare the cost. I think you'll cancel your other tools just like I did. Let me know what you create with it. Drop your results in the comments or tag me. I want to see what you build. And see you in the next one.